a values-based leadership right now is, and I shouldn't say right now, but that it's named right now, is everything to me. And I think it's really the only thing that makes difficult decisions clear. When I think about the decision that we had to make as the Canadian Paralympic Committee Board of Directors to not send a team to Tokyo for the Paralympic Games ahead of those games being postponed, how do you make a decision like that that has incredible impact? Impact first and foremost on the athletes who we are here to serve. And then secondarily, financial impact, human resource impact, just reputational impact. It's enormous. And how do you make those decisions? Well, you have to make them based on your values, and we looked at, athlete-centered, athlete-first decision making. We looked at the whole person. These aren't just athletes, these are whole people, and their health and safety, both from a physical perspective and from a mental health perspective, has to be foremost always. Second, not secondarily, but in addition to that, the safety of our coaches, the safety of all of the people that support the system. And so when you look at values-based leadership, for me, it's been the only thing that's the only clear voice inside of me, because I tend to overanalyze everything. Like I want all the data, I want all the information, and then I want a month to think about it. So that doesn't always work. We made that decision very, very quickly. And it was solely a values-based, what is the most important thing? So me, people first, integrity, honesty. Like honesty for me is number one. Empathy. So I think a lot of what we're talking about in belonging is empathy and compassion. And people first for me means that. So, how do you show up for other people, but also how do you receive what other people are sending out into the universe, and thinking about why are they sending that out? Why, before you judge, before you act, before you respond, try to think about it from their perspective, and perhaps what's coming up for them. And so, those are only some of the values, but certainly some of the most important ones.
The feedback I get sometimes on our website or at our events is, how did you get these voices and these women? Like, they are women who are leading authentic lives, and people who are, they'll say, they're just like me. I dealt with that thing as a mom in sport, or I dealt with that. And that's always sort of the model, I guess, or the guiding light that I'm trying to follow. Like, who are these people who are living authentic lives, who had trials, who've had challenges, who persevered, who are going through building resilience like all of us are. So that kind of human approach for me, and you talked about athletes first, human-based approach. I've had to say no to some people that have reached out to me who wanted to collaborate, because when they told me what their goals were or values were for working together, it was either something about increasing sales, or it just wasn't focused on the right reasons. And I definitely can feel that in my gut when I'm talking to someone. And it's hard to say no or decline. But every time I either put an event together or I'm looking for speakers, it has to be the right voices. And there are some people that you might try to connect with that will say, I'm going through a hard time right now. Can we connect maybe next year when I'm, kind of done dealing with some things? And I feel like when I'm communicating with people who, on the pre-call, and they feel very comfortable with just sharing, I don't, just creating that safe space for people, even before they're on our panels, calling them, asking how they're doing. Is this a good time? We can all be very excited to participate sometimes, but if you're going through some personal things, it might be hard to share. So I've always, had that environment, even on the phone, virtually, where people feel very comfortable telling me their stories and saying, exactly how they feel. And that's the environment we want to create, whether it's virtual or on site. We're all going through this thing called life. We're all trying to do the best we can. It's not about having a perfect event where everyone just sits there and doesn't feel like the comfort level to share and to be their authentic self and bring their whole self to the panel. As I said, I've let people bring their kids up on stage, or somebody who might divert to another story of something personal that they dealt with, and they ask, can I share that? And we want that environment to be realistic. We want people to feel safe to bring their whole self. There really isn't, we're not going to scream or get angry at anybody if they said something, about their personal life that they're willing to share. So I think Shisha Sports has been successful because People have shared with us that they've been to other events and they're kind of that perfect event, and they don't feel like they can just kind of be human or network after. Like, it's just bringing your whole self, having that human kind of centric focus, where it's about the human, it's about the person. And that's sort of how I've built the organization and sort of built our platform.